45 days. That is how long you have to respond to a single piece of mail before Social Security stops your check completely. Not reduces it, but stops it entirely. $0 deposited into your account. There is no warning call, no second notice, just nothing. And here is what is truly alarming. That piece of mail looks exactly like junk. It arrives in a plain white envelope. It contains small print and government codes that make your eyes glaze over. It asks questions that seem routine, almost boring. Most people glance at it, think, I will deal with this later, and place it in a pile on the kitchen counter. 45 days later, their rent is due, and their bank account shows no deposit. This is happening right now, this month, to thousands of Americans who have no idea why their payment suddenly stopped. The form in question is called SSA 7162. Some people receive a different version called a Request for Information Letter. Both of them look harmless. Both of them have the power to disrupt your financial life. In 2026, the Social Security Administration is sending out more of these forms than ever before because they have resumed aggressive redetermination reviews that were paused during the pandemic. They are checking your income. They are checking your living arrangements. They are checking your bank accounts. They are doing it with a new automated system that flags accounts for review based on factors you would never expect. Consider the story of Dorothy. Dorothy did everything right for 17 years. She collected her Social Security check every month without a single problem. She thought she understood how the system worked. Then she received a letter. Because she did not grasp what it was really asking, she lost 4 months of payments and nearly lost her apartment. Dorothy Simmons is 72 years old. She lives in Columbus, Ohio. She worked as a secretary at an insurance company for 34 years. She retired at 65 and began collecting Social Security. Her benefit is $1,847 a month. For 7 years, Dorothy's check arrived like clockwork on the third Wednesday of every month, deposited directly into her account. Dorothy's life is simple. She lives alone in a 2-bedroom apartment. Rent is $1,100 a month. Utilities run about $180. Her Medicare premiums and supplemental insurance cost $340 combined. Her medications cost $165 a month. Food and household supplies amount to about $250. That totals $2,035 a month in basic expenses. She receives $1,847 from Social Security. She is already $188 short every month. How does Dorothy make up the difference? Her daughter Jennifer sends her $200 a month and has done so for years. The money is simply transferred into Dorothy's checking account on the first of every month. Jennifer calls it helping out Mom. Dorothy never thought twice about it. Her daughter loves her. Her daughter has a good job. Her daughter wants to help. What could be wrong with that? Nothing is wrong with it, unless you fail to report it correctly to Social Security. In January of 2026, Dorothy received a letter from the Social Security Administration. The envelope was plain white with a return address from Baltimore, Maryland. The letter inside had a form attached, Form SSA 7162. The letter stated, "We are conducting a review of your Social Security record to make sure our information is correct. Please complete the enclosed form and return it within 45 days." Dorothy looked at the form. It asked about her living arrangements. It asked about her income sources. It asked about money she receives from other people. Dorothy filled it out honestly. Under the question about receiving financial assistance from anyone, she wrote, "My daughter sends me $200 a month." She thought she was being truthful. She thought honesty was the right approach. She mailed the form back within 2 weeks. 30 days later, Dorothy received another letter. This one was different. This one said her Social Security benefit was being suspended, pending an investigation because she had unreported income that exceeded allowable thresholds. Her March check did not come. Her April check did not come. Her May check did not come. Her June check did not come. 4 months, 0 income. $7,388 that Dorothy was counting on, gone. Dorothy called Social Security. She waited on hold for 3 hours and 20 minutes. When she finally reached an agent, she was told her case was under review and there was nothing she could do but wait. Dorothy could not wait. Her rent was due. Her landlord sent a notice. Her utilities were about to be shut off. Dorothy's daughter, Jennifer, had to pay Dorothy's rent for 4 months. Jennifer had to put Dorothy's utilities on her credit card. Jennifer had to buy Dorothy's groceries. The $200 a month that Jennifer was sending to help became $1,500 a month to keep Dorothy from being evicted. In June, Dorothy finally received her benefits reinstated. Social Security determined that the $200 monthly gift from her daughter did not actually disqualify her from benefits because Dorothy received Social Security retirement, not SSI. The $200 from her daughter does not affect Social Security retirement benefits at all. It only matters for supplemental security income, which is a different program entirely. But Dorothy did not know that, and the way she answered the question on the form made it appear as though she might be receiving SSI and failing to report income. The form was confusing, the questions were vague, and Dorothy, trying to be honest, wrote something that triggered an automatic suspension. 4 months of no income, 4 months of terror, 4 months of borrowing money and begging landlords, all because of a form she did not understand. This illustrates how the system is designed to suspend first and ask questions later. Social Security does not call to clarify your answers. They do not send someone to explain the questions. They see something that looks like a problem and they stop your payments while they investigate. The investigation can take weeks. It can take months. During that entire time, you receive nothing. Right now, it is important to go to wherever you keep your mail. Check for any envelope from the Social Security Administration. If you see one, do not throw it away. Do not put it in a pile to deal with later. Open it right now. If it is a form asking about your income, your living arrangements, your bank accounts, or anything else about your personal situation, you need to respond immediately. Not tomorrow, not this weekend, but now. If you are not sure how to answer the questions, it is essential to understand exactly what to say. This wave of reviews is happening now because during the pandemic, Social Security paused most of their routine reviews. They call these reviews redeterminations. A redetermination is when Social Security checks your current situation against their records to make sure everything still matches. For regular Social Security retirement benefits, redeterminations are relatively rare. Social Security already knows your earnings history because your employers reported it. They already know your benefit amount because they calculated it when you retired. But for SSI, supplemental security income, redeterminations are constant. SSI is based on your current financial situation, not your work history. If your income changes, your bank balance changes, or your living arrangements change, your benefits can change as well. Here is where it becomes complicated, and this is what trips up people like Dorothy. Social Security uses the same mailing systems, the same forms, and often the same wording for both programs. When you receive a letter asking about your income and your living arrangements, you may not know if they are asking because you receive SSI, if it is just a routine check on your retirement benefits, or if there has been some kind of error in your file. The form does not make this clear. The letter does not make this clear. When you answer the questions, you might accidentally provide information that triggers an SSI review process even though you do not receive SSI. That is what happened to Dorothy. She received Social Security retirement, not SSI. But the way she answered the question about her daughter's financial help made the automated system think she might be receiving SSI with unreported income. The system flagged her account. The system suspended her payments. And Dorothy spent 4 months in financial distress because of a misunderstanding that should never have occurred. In 2026, Social Security is playing catch-up on all the reviews they paused during the pandemic. They are sending out millions of SSA 7162 forms. They are conducting what they call living arrangement reviews. They are using a new automated system called AFI, Access to Financial Institutions, that actually checks your bank accounts directly. Social Security has a system that can see your balance. They can see deposits coming in. They can see patterns of activity. They do not do this for everyone. They do it for SSI recipients and for people they suspect might be receiving benefits they are not entitled to, but the criteria for who gets checked is not always clear. If you receive SSI, assume they are looking at your bank account. If you have received a redetermination letter recently, assume they might start looking at your bank account. If you have deposits coming in from sources you have not reported, You need to address that immediately. If they find something they do not like, they do not call you to ask about it. They suspend your payments and send you a letter explaining why. Then you have to prove to them that everything is legitimate before they will turn your payments back on. This is the redetermination trap. You receive a letter that seems routine. You answer it the best you can, and then your payments stop because something in your answer, or something in your bank records, or something in their automated system triggered a flag. The system assumes the worst. The system stops your money, and you are left trying to prove your innocence while your rent comes due. The story of Eugene demonstrates how the bank account surveillance actually works. Eugene Patterson is 67 years old. He lives in Louisville, Kentucky. He receives SSI because he has a disability that prevents him from working. His monthly SSI benefit is $943. SSI has very strict rules about resources. If you have more than $2,000 in assets, you can lose your benefits. Bank accounts, savings, investments, even some personal property, it all counts. Eugene knows this. He is careful. He keeps his checking account balance low. He does not have a savings account. He has been receiving SSI for 9 years without any problems. In December of 2025, Eugene's brother passed away. Eugene and his brother were close. The brother left Eugene $5,000 in his will. Eugene knew he could not simply deposit that money into his bank account. He knew it would put him over the $2,000 limit. So he was careful. He used the inheritance to pay off some medical debt. He bought a new refrigerator to replace his broken one. He prepaid 6 months of his car insurance. Within 3 weeks, the $5,000 was gone. Eugene never had more than $2,000 in his bank account at any time. He thought he was safe. In February of 2026, Eugene's SSI payment did not arrive. He called Social Security. They told him his benefits had been suspended because of excess resources. They said their record showed he had received a $5,000 inheritance. Eugene explained that he had spent the money immediately. He had never exceeded the $2,000 limit. He had receipts. The agent said Eugene would need to provide documentation of how he spent the money. He would need to submit a request for reinstatement. His case would be reviewed. It could take 60 to 90 days. Eugene asked how he was supposed to pay his rent for 60 to 90 days. The agent stated that was the review process. Eugene's landlord did not wait 60 to 90 days. Eugene's landlord started eviction proceedings after 30 days of missed rent. Eugene had to go to a legal aid office. He had to file an emergency appeal. He had to obtain a letter from a lawyer to his landlord explaining the situation. After 47 days, Eugene's benefits were reinstated. Social Security acknowledged that he had spent the inheritance appropriately and never exceeded the resource limit. But Eugene had to fight for 47 days. He had to involve lawyers. He had to prove that he followed rules he had already followed because Social Security's automated system saw a $5,000 deposit and flagged his account immediately. The system did not check to see if Eugene had spent the money appropriately. The system did not look at his current balance. The system saw a deposit, assumed the worst, and suspended his payments. This is the access to financial institution system in action. It is running in the background right now, checking accounts, looking for deposits, looking for balances that trigger automatic flags. The AFI system does not just look at your balance on one day. It looks at your activity over time. It sees deposits coming in. It sees patterns. If you receive SSI and your adult child deposits birthday money into your account, the system might see that. If you receive a tax refund, the system sees that. If you sell something and deposit the proceeds, the system might see that. Not all of these things will trigger a suspension, but any of them might trigger a review. If you do not respond to the review correctly, or if you do not respond at all, your payments stop. Form SSA 7162 is titled Request for Information, Resources, and Living Arrangements. It is usually accompanied by a letter stating they are reviewing your record to make sure you are receiving the correct payment amount and requesting you complete and return the form within 45 days. The form has several sections. Section 1 asks about your living arrangements. It wants to know if you live alone, with a spouse, with family members, or with non-relatives. It asks who pays for your rent or mortgage. It asks who pays for your food. It asks if you receive free housing or reduced rent from anyone. This section can be problematic. If you live with family and they help with expenses, you need to be very careful how you describe the arrangement. Stating that your son pays your rent could trigger an investigation into whether you are receiving in-kind support and maintenance, which can reduce SSI benefits. The correct way to handle this if you receive SSI is to document exactly what you pay and what others pay. If you pay your fair share of household expenses, state that clearly. If you receive help, describe it precisely so Social Security can calculate any impact accurately rather than suspending your benefits to investigate. Section 2 asks about your income. It wants to know if you have wages, self-employment income, pensions, annuities, rental income, interest, dividends, or any other income. It specifically asks about money received from friends or relatives. This is where Dorothy encountered difficulty. She wrote that her daughter sends her $200 a month, but she receives Social Security retirement, not SSI. For retirement benefits, that $200 does not matter. The form does not explain this distinction, and Dorothy's answer made it appear as though she might be an SSI recipient with unreported income. If you receive Social Security retirement, not SSI, gifts from family members do not affect your benefits. You can note them on the form, but make it clear that you receive Social Security retirement based on your work history, not SSI based on financial need. Section 3 asks about your resources. Bank accounts, savings, checking, CDs, stocks, bonds, real estate, vehicles, life insurance policies, anything of value for SSI recipients. This section is critical. The $2,000 resource limit is strictly enforced. If you have resources over the limit, you need to either spend them down or document why they are exempt. For Social Security retirement recipients, this section is largely irrelevant to your benefits. Retirement benefits are based on your work history, not your current assets. If you answer this section in a way that makes Social Security think you might be on SSI, it can trigger an unnecessary review. Section 4 asks you to sign and certify that your answers are correct. It warns that giving false information can result in penalties. The form gives you 45 days from the date printed on the letter, not 45 days from when you receive it, not 45 days from when you open it, but 45 days from the date on the letter. If the letter sat in your mailbox for a week, you already lost a week. If you do not respond within 45 days, Social Security sends you a notice that your benefits are being suspended. They do not call first. They do not give you an extension. They suspend your payments and you have to request reinstatement and go through a whole new review process. This can take months. During those months, you receive nothing. When you receive such a letter, you need to respond immediately. First, know which program you are on. Look at your benefit statement. Look at the letters you have received from Social Security. Are you receiving Social Security retirement based on your work history? Are you receiving Social Security disability? Are you receiving SSI based on financial need? These are different programs with different rules. If you receive Social Security retirement or disability, your benefits are based on your work history and are not affected by your current income or assets except in very specific circumstances. If you receive SSI, your benefits are absolutely affected by your income, assets, and living arrangements. Every dollar matters. Every resource matters. When you fill out Form SSA 7162, keep your answer consistent with the program you are on. Second, be specific, but do not overshare. Answer the questions that are asked. Provide the information that is requested, but do not volunteer additional information that might trigger unnecessary flags. For example, if the form asks if you receive money from anyone and you receive Social Security retirement, you can write that you receive occasional birthday or holiday gifts from family, but your Social Security benefits are based on your work history. This answers the question while clarifying that the gifts do not affect your benefit eligibility. Third, keep records of everything. When you mail the form back, send it certified mail with return receipt requested. This proves you responded and proves when you responded. Keep a copy of the completed form. Take photos of every page before you mail it. If Social Security ever claims they did not receive your response or claims you responded late, you will have documentation proving otherwise. Fourth, respond within 30 days, not 45. The form says 45 days, but mail takes time. Processing takes time. If you wait until day 44 and then mail it, your response might not arrive in time. Give yourself a cushion. Respond within 30 days of the date on the letter, not 45. Fifth, if you are unsure about any question, call Social Security before you answer. The wait times can be long. It might take hours, but it is better to wait on hold for 3 hours than to answer a question wrong and lose 4 months of benefits. When you call, ask them specifically about the form and the question you are unsure about. Get the agent's name and the date and time of the call. Write down what they tell you. If there is ever a dispute later, you will have documentation of what Social Security told you. Regarding the payment schedule for March 2026, if you receive Social Security Retirement or SSDI, your payment date depends on your birthday. If you were born on the 1st through the 10th of the month, you receive payment on the 2nd Wednesday. In March 2026, that is March 11th. If you were born on the 11th through the 20th of the month, you receive payment on the 3rd Wednesday. In March 2026, that is March 18th. If you were born on the 21st through the 31st of the month, you receive payment on the 4th Wednesday. In March 2026, that is March 25th. If you receive SSI, your payment comes on the 1st of the month. In March 2026, that is Saturday, March 1st. Payments will actually be deposited on Friday, February 28th. Mark these dates on your calendar. If your payment does not arrive on your scheduled date, something is wrong. Do not wait and hope it shows up later. Call Social Security immediately. Right now, take these steps. First, find any unopened mail from Social Security. Open it. Read it. If it is asking for information, start gathering the documents you need to respond. Second, check your payment schedule. Know when your next payment is supposed to arrive. If it does not arrive on that date, take action immediately. Third, understand which program you are on. Social Security Retirement, SSDI, or SSI. The rules are different for each. Do not let confusing forms make you answer questions that do not apply to you. Fourth, if you receive SSI, check your bank balance right now. Are you under $2,000 in countable resources? If you are close to the limit, be careful. A single unexpected deposit could push you over and trigger a suspension. Fifth, if someone helps you financially, document exactly what they provide and how it is used. If you receive SSI, this documentation could be the difference between keeping your benefits and losing them. Share this information with family members and friends who receive benefits. Help them understand what these letters are really asking. Your payment depends on it.
Yeah, grind mode on, can't kill my drive. Turn the pressure up, I come alive. Grind mode on, I don't fold, I don't quit. Hunger in my chest, every beat I commit. Eyes on the prize, no sleep till it's won. World in my hands when the grind mode's on. Wake up with a vision, I'm locked on the target. Turn pain into fuel, I'm a flame, I spark it. No shortcuts here, I embrace every test. Pressure on my shoulders, still I handle it best. I was made for the climb, every loss, every scar. Built me in the steel, now I shine like a star. If the road gets rough, I just double my speed. Ambition on 10, I was born to lead. Grind mode on, I don't fold, I don't quit. Hunger in my chest, every beat I commit. Eyes on the prize, no sleep till it's won. World in my hands when the grind mode's on. They said limits exist, but I shattered the frame. Every wall in my path is just fuel for the frame. Discipline heavy, but my spirit is free. I don't chase success, success chases me. I'm the storm and the calm, I'm the rise, I'm the proof. Every bar that I drop is the grind in the booth. Blood, sweat, tears, that's the code I trust. I don't wait for the crown, I earn it, I must.